Don't let your AC system get knocked out by the heat this upcoming summer. Call KS Services and let our team come take a look. We repair and install all makes and models. We even offer a free no-hassle quote and second opinion, so give us a call today. With our flexible financing, you can literally pick your payment. We may even be able to help you knock down that utility bill a bit.
KS Heating and Air, the team ensuring your comfort.
It's the Weather Xtreme video. This is the morning edition for Labor Day, Monday, September 3rd. I'm James Spann. The tropics are alive. Chance we'll have a tropical storm in the Gulf of Mexico later today or tonight. That'll be the topic of conversation. And let's not forget Florence in the Atlantic. That is interesting as well. Let's go in there and talk about it. Let's start with the big picture this morning. This is the upper air look. Fairly classic look for early September. We have an upper high on the middle Atlantic coast. Above that, the mid-latitude westerlies through Canada. Below that, the tropical easterlies, and they have become rather active. Let's start with a watch warning map around the nation this morning. Heat returns to the northeast. We have some flash flooding issues for the plains in the Midwest. And, of course, the tropical system bring the chance of heavy rain to the southern tip of Florida and parts of the central Gulf Coast. Moments ago, the Weather Service in Mobile issued a flash flood watch for the Gulf Coast region from Pensacola back through parts of Mobile and Baldwin counties, then, of course, parts of Mississippi and Louisiana. And we'll talk about the tropics in a moment. First off, the convective outlook for today and tonight. A marginal risk over the southern tip of Florida with our tropical system, and a chance of severe storms up near the Canadian border with the westerlies up there. Tomorrow, marginal risk for parts of the Great Lakes, the upper Midwest, and on day 3, which is Wednesday, no organized severe weather expected. And again, we'll be watching the tropical system coming in. They'll probably add a marginal risk for the Gulf Coast, but for now I'd say the tornado threat is rather minimal, not zero, but minimal. Rain's obviously going to be the biggest issue. This is the 7-day expected rain around the nation. You kind of get the idea. The flow of that tropical system is going to keep the deeper moisture west of the state, coming up to Louisiana, Arkansas, and then recurving back into the westerlies with a relative minimum for North Alabama. Here's a closer look, and you can see if this verifies, not much rain at all for the northern half of the state, under 1/2 inch, and this is valid through Monday morning of next week. Heavier totals down south near the Gulf Coast, Mobile with about 2.5 inches. The bigger numbers to the west, coastal Mississippi, New Orleans with 3 to 5 inches there. And understand this could be adjusted anytime you have a tropical system in play. Remember, this could change, and it probably will. So here's the broad tropical picture. First off, we have a new wave coming off the coast of Africa. At this point, the chance of development is small in the short term. We have Florence in the Atlantic, and then we have potential tropical cyclone 7 near the southern tip of Florida around Miami. And again, that should become tropical storm Gordon later today. So let's start with Florence. The top winds out there 60 miles an hour. This is expected to stay a tropical storm for the next 5 days. And the question is, what happens when it gets out there to 55 or 60 west? Initially, last week it looked like a recurver, and the European says not so fast. The European has 51 ensemble members, and the mean, it's that black line, and you can see that it's got the idea of an upper high building north of the system that might churn it toward the middle Atlantic coast of the United States. That's a real possibility. But the GFS wants to recurve the thing. This is the GFS ensemble output. The mean, again, is the black line, which is the one you want to look for. So a lot of uncertainty here, but for our friends on the East Coast, don't get your eye off that ball, off of Florence. Now, let's talk about potential Gordon, our tropical wave that's centered down around Miami. That'll be coming through the Florida Straits today. It's disorganized at this point. It's not a tropical depression yet, but it should get its act together in the Gulf, become Tropical Storm Gordon by tonight. Here's the forecast in the Hurricane Center. They bring it up toward the southeast Louisiana, past Christian, Mississippi by after midnight tomorrow night, early Wednesday morning. There's a tropical storm warning on the Gulf Coast from around Perdido Pass, Perdido Key, back over to Morgan City, Louisiana. The area is there in blue. This is not expected to be a hurricane. The main threat's going to be rain. This is the tropical guidance, pretty good agreement. Intensity guidance, no evidence of this being a hurricane at all. And rain's going to be the big issue. Now, in the short term, we got a chance of some flooding over the southern tip of Florida today. And then, of course, the concern will be shifting over towards southeast Louisiana, south Mississippi, and maybe southwest Alabama. And again, there's a look at that flash flood watch issued for the central Gulf Coast. And that'll be the biggest issue. For those that have a trip planned down there, different people go to the beach for different reasons. No doubt it's going to be wet tomorrow night and Wednesday. After that, the weather improves. And, you might see winds gusting to 40, 45, maybe 50 on the high end, but we don't expect a lot of wind issues. It's mainly going to be the rain down there. And again, mainly tomorrow night and Wednesday. Let's look at the modeling here. This is the GFS, the 06C run at 1 o'clock this afternoon. 594 high on the middle Atlantic coast. And again, the westerlies to the north, the easterlies below that thing. And for us, I think the day relatively dry. Any showers very isolated. Lots of sunshine, the high today around 90. It's not going to feel like fall, even though this is Labor Day and September. Tomorrow, Gordon should be in the Gulf south of Orange Beach. This is 1 o'clock tomorrow. And again, for the northern half of the state, weather pretty quiet. There may be a few isolated showers. Becoming breezy and showery on the Gulf Coast as the thing approaches. This is tomorrow night just after midnight, 1 a.m. Wednesday. It's got Gordon into South Mississippi. And again, obviously, for South and West Alabama, it's going to be breezy and wet. We'll go to Wednesday afternoon at 1 o'clock, and Gordon is over the Mississippi Delta around Greenville. Better chance of showers on the western side of Alabama Wednesday. The east would be pretty dry if this verifies. Then Thursday, what's left of Gordon kind of circles around and gets hung up on top of the ridge, and that moisture is going to come up through the Ohio Valley. And again, for us on Thursday, we'll have scattered showers and storms about, especially for the western half of the state. The eastern counties fairly dry here. Here's the QPF. This is coming off the European model. 84 hours valid into Thursday morning, and you can see the bigger numbers, obviously Mobile and Baldwin counties, and there's a really sharp gradient. This is suggesting nothing for the northern third of the state, places like Cullman, Haleyville, Huntsville, the Shoals. Birmingham with not much at all, Anniston, Gadsden, not much at all. So if you're needing rain, and some people do, don't get your hopes up if you're in North or East Alabama with this. Go to Friday, looks fairly quiet, only isolated showers, and again, we'll be up there close to 90. And Saturday, as the weekend begins, pretty much the same deal. There could be a few widely scattered afternoon showers, but a decent part of the day dry, the high 87 to 90. And Sunday, moisture levels might be increasing with a surface boundary coming in. We'll go to Monday of next week. The ridge weaker and a surface front north of the state, so the chance of showers and storms will be there Monday of next week. So for those in North Alabama that need rain, it's not going to be the tropical system that helps, probably a front coming in from the north maybe Sunday and Monday. And we note on the far, far right edge of that's Florence in the Atlantic. Now, let's go to the 10-day outlook here. Wow, fall fans, that's exciting. This is Wednesday of next week, the 12th, and this is the GFS. And again, we got this upper high in the west and a big trough in the east, and down below that, a surface front coming in with a 1020 high. If this were to verify, have a pretty good chance of rain maybe Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, and then maybe a shot of cool air, just maybe. Typically, the first good shot of cool air gets in here in late September, not mid-September, but we'll see. And again, over there on that far, far right, that's Florence, and the GFS is suggesting Florence will be recurving on this run, but not so fast, says the European. This is Wednesday evening of next week off the European model, and that doesn't look good. Florence is coming up on the Outer Banks of North Carolina. And understand, this is deterministic model output. This is no forecast. There's no skill out here. These are just ideas. But what this is just saying is that if you're on the East Coast, don't get your eye off of Florence. Hopefully it recurves, but there's no guarantee. It might try and do this. We'll see. Numbers coming off the GFS. It keeps us in the 80s out there toward mid-month, but just maybe we'll catch a little twinge of cooler air by then. But again, traditionally, the first really good front of the fall season does not get in here until late September. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video this morning. We'll have notes in the blog. The next video here by 4 o'clock this afternoon. If you can't catch us this evening on ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.
KS Heating and Air, the team ensuring your comfort.